We'll move now into the team list, and specifically this man here, Rocco, is back. I know a lot of people are fans of him, love him, and excited to see him back. We talked about his journey, like be patient. It's a nerve damage similar to Flegler, what Flegler had. But Josh, how excited are you, and how do you think he'll go in this game, in a massive game away to the Storm? But how do you think our man Rocco will go?
I'm buzzing, eh? I'm so excited to have him back. He's just such a solid player. And I mean, watching him in Cup to start the season as well, like he's just been absolutely killing it down there. Um, I think this is probably the best game to bring him back on. I feel like he's quite like a big game player for us of sorts. When we need him most, he seems to like step up and play well. I think, especially in that round two Storm game last year, like the way he was making those one-on-one tackles out of marker on almost every kick that SJ did down into that corner. Like that's what we've been almost missing a little bit this year, I think, is the just push out of marker, get those early tackles, keep them down inside the 10. And he runs such a hard line. Like no wonder he got nerve damage, bro. The way that the speed he runs into that line and just getting hit, every other time is so rough. But he's a point of difference for our team, so it does really, really excite me that he's back.
Yeah. Ash, what about you, man?
Yeah, bro. Pretty much echoing everything Josh just said before. Yeah. I think like we all agree that his kick chases some of the best in the competition. You'd have him up there with Jordan Riki or Viliami Kickals of the world, stuff like that. And we saw it last year when we go up against Melbourne Storm. The first game of the season we had against them, where he was causing Xavier Coates a whole lot of headaches under the high ball and caused a couple of errors that end up turning into points for us. Jackson Ford try late after that, and very good moments that he had. So that's what we get back in Rocco. When watching him in New South Wales Cup, he hasn't lost that at all. And I think we all agree, watching him back in New South Wales Cup, he looks like he's competing on everything as he always does. So just excited to have another guy like that in there. And I think the last time we saw him last year was in the last Melbourne Storm game. That was when he ended up picking up the injury from memory anyway. So unfortunately, only playing 30 minutes in that game. It was a big loss for us when he came out. So I'm really excited to have him back, and I'm excited to see what we really do there, whether we post him up on the right edge or we put him on the left edge and keep Ali Leatoa on that right edge. I do think Ali will go to left, but I'm excited to see what he can bring to us on that right edge and just defensiveness. I love him.
What's the expectation for him? Like, coming back for so long, and yes, he's been doing his thing in Cup, but at a first grade level, what are we expecting from him? I'll just chuck it at anyone who wants to answer that one. Yeah,
I think that it's kind of exactly what we expect. Like, I think we know we're going to get competitiveness. We know we're going to get drive. We know we're going to get a guy that's just going to compete on everything and really clean up a lot of our defensive movements. I think a lot of people got to remember last year, there was a little bit of complaining about his defense sort of later on, due to some line breaks happening down the edge, the Titans game, stuff like that, and his tackle tech on the edge. But people got to remember he had to defend outside of Sean Johnson in that time. And Shawnee, obviously, we all know now, it was heavily documented that he's came into the season with a lot of injuries. So it was like he had to cover two positions at once, and that's what caused him to be out of position in a lot of moments. I think with having a fresh body inside of him, more than likely it would be Luke Metcalf, who's defending really well this season, in my opinion. I think having that will help him a ton too. So more of the defensive end that I'm looking at with Rocco and what I'm expecting really good things out of. The attacking stuff will come in time, and obviously he doesn't have his man on the edge of Dallin Martinez-Lesniak, but Kane does an incredible job there too, just off the cuff. So I'm really excited to see that connection as well.
Josh, do you think that we've seen Ali Leatoa absolutely kill it on the right-hand side and be influential? He scored a couple of tries. He's damaging close to the line. Do you think we should expect similar from Rocco, or is he just a different type of player? And will he be as an attacking threat, much like Ali Leatoa, or will it be a little bit different in your opinion?
Yeah, look, he's not Ali Leatoa, right? For me, Ali is one of one. The way he plays and how he kind of gets on the outside of his man and uses his footwork, uses his fin, uses all of his brute strength and power. Whereas Rocco is a little bit more fundamental. and he, gets all the basics, does them all, as you're taught as a 7-8-year-old, coming into playing sports. But with Rocco, we see that a hard running line as opposed to skipping onto the outside or someone who can tip on the ball. Not saying that Ali can't do these things, but they are different in that type of manner. So I think we're not going to see the attacking output from Rocco as we would with Ali, but I still think, again, like Ash said, the attack will come, but it's the defense that he shores up in our team. And like Ash was saying as well, with Metcalf inside him, and also a set second rower inside of Metcalf, that will create all the difference for that right side. I think that's one of the things, when we talk about how Johnson wasn't playing well defensively last year, in the first 5 rounds, we had like 3 different second rowers out there. So it's hard to then go, oh, this is all Sean's fault, or this is all Rocco's fault, when it's actually all the way back inside and that trust and communication isn't coming all the way out. But we saw in 2023 with Marata Niukore sitting there right next to Sean Johnson that it just worked, and that whole side was just so strong defensively. And with Rocco and Marata on the outsides of Luke Metcalf, or on either side of Luke Metcalf, we should see that edge start to shore up a lot more as well.
Agreed.
Yeah, Ash, do you think he'll eventually play? Oh, I know you're speaking about it, Josh, as well. But do you think he's going to play right side, or was there a chance he plays left?
I would say more times than not, I would say he would be coming in on the right because he prefers to play on the right. He's got a right-handed carry, a left-handed fend. He's more predominant a right side player, where Ali's got this special ability to play both sides. Like Rocco has popped up on the left side before, we've seen it, but preferably he's always been on the right. Ali, we've seen him dominate on the right, and we've seen him dominate in the left. Like he's done it in a cup on either end. He can switch hands with his ball carrying. He's got incredible fence on both sides. So Ali's got the special ability. No matter what position you'll really put him, he'll go out there and shine. Where Rocco, I think, because he's so fundamental, I think that he probably would prefer to be on that right-hand side, and just judging on the way he tackles and stuff, he's probably got a really strong, outside right shoulder. So I'm expecting that right edge to be Rocco Berry's side.
Would you expect, because the speed of Tane and Ali was actually quite good.
Yeah.
Do you think that defensively it should be pretty good with Tane as well? Tane's kind of that he's quick to jam when they're going to jam. His recovery's kind of okay. And likewise, would you expect him, because Rocco's quite good at setting up his outsides as well, you probably expect Tane to go over the line a bit more in that sense?
Yeah, definitely. I think that they're both really smart footy players in the way of, I think they'll connect really well. They got really good footy IQ. Tane, as you said, he's very quick on his decision making, and that's really good for a centre. Like you love that from like your wingers and stuff that are very good decision makers, and when your centre darts in on defensive movements, he'll follow you in. Tane's really good at those sort of aspects of his game. And on the attacking side of things, like, even if that tip-on's not perfect or any sort of way, Tane's not afraid to step off that right foot and cut back inside and create something out of nothing too. So, I think that it'll be a little bit missing with not having Dallin outside of him with that real incredible finishing ability that Dallin has, that Rocco got so used to, just that real nice tip-on. But I think Tane brings a different aspect to his game. And as I said, both very smart football players, so I think they'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's actually kind of funny. You look at Berry, and there's actually kind of like a mini Nikora. His hard line. How he runs that hard line like a
yeah, bro.
That's a big shout to say Nikora, but he's so committed to that line that I think he will find the line in different ways, but also create for his outside. So I'll chuck it back to you, Josh. Back now on the left side, Ali Leatoa and Pompey. A kind of a new pairing there. We saw a little bit of disconnect between Pompey and CHT. And one of the plays against the Tigers, where I think Seyfarth went through. CHT now with Ali and now Pompey on the wing. Do you feel that edge is going to be okay defensively with a very attacking Melbourne Storm, or will it have some issues to deal with?
Yeah, I mean, to me, I think so. I think obviously CHT is a good defender. I think Pompey is a good defender as well, and Ali is, he's getting there. He's not, I wouldn't call him a great defender, but I wouldn't call him a bad defender, you know. And so
Yeah.
I think what like you were pointing to with that safe path try, I think again that's just the communication between the inside as well, because I remember the little was it Jordan Pereira said that as well about him not trusting the B marker inside to kind of come across and cover that inside. So again, I think those are just kind of lapses that they're few and far between. I think we might see it a bit more just the way Melbourne attack as well. They like to attack in behind the ruck, and so that's something I think maybe we will hold up more and kind of try and give them the outside a bit more and kind of do that, like drop a bit more and come back. I'm excited to see the battle if it's Ali versus Moses Leo as well. Like that's to me that would be really cool. I'd back Ali any day of the week in that, but it's always good to see one of our own, over there and getting a crack.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's a really good point. I think, look, it's going to be exciting no matter what, and I think Ali's probably the most versatile of the two. I totally agree with what Ash is saying, that Ali can do well over there as well. And Pompey's experience as a winger too. I think Pompey's just a cool head.
Yeah.
And maybe just having that experience of Pompey there on the wing as well just trades that benefit to just kind of shore things up. But it's exciting. I mean, Rocco's back. Ali on the left edge against a Leo. We've got so many exciting options. So I think it's just going to be a massive, massive